Hello. I am attempting to tell a part of my life story. My name is Robert Adron Wright Ridley. I was born in April the 9th, 1930 in Oxon Hill, Maryland by a midwife. I grew up there, I went to school there, and I lived on a farm with my family. We were marketing people with a small farm, and we went through many changes to go through World War I and World War II. I knew very little of World War I, but I lived a part of World War II. But before I get into that, I must tell you that I did spend a lot of my time as a child on the farm, and thank God I learned so much from my Uncle Adron. My mother was Bessie Wright Ridley. My name was changed to Robert Ridley as soon as I went to school, and I thank God for my mother's thinking that it allowed me to become a part of the family. I have 3 more siblings: Eunice, Atwater, Nana Mae, and Sonny. We called him Sonny, but his name was Reginald. And we all went to school in Oxon Hill, Maryland. None of us knew the difference in segregation at that time. So we started out in the little colored school called Oxon Hill Colored School. And as the years went by, the school got too small, and we were sent to Sojourner Truth School, which was a mile away, which we had to walk, and we had to go rain, snow, sleet, whatever. But more important than that to me, I remember my Uncle Adron telling me that you had to work. Nothing is free on this earth. Everybody should have a job and try to work. Right behind me is a picture of my mom. She worked at Oak Street Market in order to support us. There was Aunt Bert, and she worked at Oak Street Market. Uncle Adron, he worked at Oak Street Market. Aunt Frances, she worked at Oak Street Market. My Uncle Herbert, who had a meat stand in Oak Street Market. And I had an Uncle Ellis. He was he didn't do too much working at Oak Street Market, but he was a businessman. And then we had Uncle Roy also. He had an ice, wood, and coal business. So the background of my family is people that wanted to work. And for Lord's sake, I can't leave out the greatest man of all of the family, Robert Wright. Robert Wright is the grandfather, the father of all the people I spoke of. And Granddaddy had one leg. Contrary to today's people, my grandfather didn't let that one leg stop him. He went on and became a farmer with his boys, and he also started them at Oak Street Market and started the family at Friendship Baptist Church. all of the Wright family went to Friendship Baptist Church, all but Uncle Ellis. Uncle Ellis, he went to 10th Street Baptist Church. So the family history has always been around work and church. And I can recall family meetings at the farm where everybody would come out on Sunday evening and play the piano and sing and have a big meal. This was family. This is what we did as a family. This is my memory as a family. My school years were very good. I can't remember but one teacher, and that was Mrs. West. Mrs. West would take the class on snowy days, rainy days, and she would make us sit down and learn etiquette. Today I can go out and eat and be comfortable wherever I am because Mrs. West taught me to be a gentleman at a very early age. She taught us how to open the door for young ladies. She taught us how to hold the chair back and how to use your knife, fork, and spoon. Along with that, Mrs. West would also come and see your parents if you weren't doing good in school. If you were doing good in school, she would still come. That was the way that we lived. And I'm speaking from elementary school. And then I graduated from the 7th grade, and my Aunt Frances allowed me to use her address, and I went to Randall Junior High, where I was there for 2 years, which I then had to walk about 3 miles to catch the bus to get to school, which I had to be at school at 7:30 in the morning. We got out by 12:30, and my Uncle Adron would say, "Boy, we got a lot of work to do. Get home soon as you can." I remember that, and today I still remember that life is not free. You must get out and work and do what you have to do. As the years has gone by and I stayed on the farm, and eventually I ended up going to Oak Street Market and working. As I worked there, my mother taught me how to dress, how to buy clothes, how to save money. And then as I became around 15, she then told me that I was old enough to have my own stand, which was saying I could have my own business. So with Aunt Bert and my mother's guidance and my Uncle Adron's help, I learned to sell stuff at Oak Street Market. I stayed there until I was 21. At 21, I married Mary Catherine, and moved off. I moved off the farm, got a room with my Aunt Mildred, and then as we worked, we got our own place at 3rd and T Northwest. And I went to work at Maryland University. Just as we had settled in, then I was called into the service. I went into the Marine Corps, went through Paris Island, went through a lot of changes, but with everything I went through, I learned to be a better person. And at the end of my 2 years, I was a draftee. At the end of the 2 years, my Mary and I sat down. We had one child by now, and we talked it over, and I re-enlisted for the next 6 years. And then I was at Cherry Point. They put me to work in different categories, and we had base housing, and we made friends. We didn't have a car, but when I re-enlisted, we had enough money to buy our car. We used to go to the movie on the base, and the base movie was 10 cents. We had such a little bit of money. At the end of the month, we didn't have 20 cents to go to the movie. So it was a very few black people there. So we became friends, and we started playing Midwest in the evening and entertaining ourselves. And that went on until one or the other of us got transferred. I think right there I'm going to stop. I'll tell you more later.